Hello, this is Demix and welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 video. This time we're going back to the Alps for a short morning hop from Aosta, Lima India Mike Whiskey in the northwest of Italy to Sion, Lima Sierra Gold Sierra in Switzerland. We will take once again our Cessna 152. We will fly VFR only using visual references. Here on the map you see approximately the route we will be taking. We'll take off on runway 27 and climb straight to the west following the central Aosta Valley till we reach Mont Blanc and the town of Courmayeur. Once there, we will be heading east, flying over VFR, crossing the border with Switzerland over the pass called Col Ferret. From there, we will be descending towards Martigny and finally land in Sion. The entire flight will take about 45 unedited minutes, and this flight we will see Mont Blanc, Gran Jorasses, Gran Combin and many more of the highest mountains in Europe. Apologies for the audio levels, they are not set particularly well and the microphone cutting out now and then. I'm still learning how this whole YouTube thing works and I'm still trying to figure out the best settings for the microphone. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. Without further ado, let's get in the plane and I hope you will enjoy the flight. See you very soon. Bye for now. The land light. Just check, make sure full rich. We're not gonna use flaps today because this airplane can take off without flaps. Without any issue. Good to go. Full power. Power is set. Airspeed is live. Gonna rotate about 50 knots. There we are. Rotate. And the climb is gonna go at about 75 knots. So we're gonna pitch for 75 knots. We have positive rate. We're gonna have to climb quite a lot because some of the passes and mountains that we will fly over are more than 10,000 feet. And we're gonna have a steep descent as well because Sion is going to be 1500 feet. Let's reach down slightly to increase or to reach our best rate of climb. 70 knots. Straight in the air slightly. It's really difficult to trim these airplanes without having proper force feedback on joystick or yoke. With mostly trial and error, you just trim it a little, then release the pressure on the stick, and if it goes down, you trim it a bit more. That's how it is. We're gonna have to check our mixture actually because we are flying quite high. Let's see. As you can see, we get more power if we lead the mixture correctly. We don't have any EGT or that sort of indication here, so it's just going to be pretty much by ear. If you saw my previous flight in this area, I came down from pretty much our left from the south, from that valley that you see to our about 11 o'clock. See a large ridge, came down that way, started circling to lose altitude here in the central valley. Let me show you around. So that is the city of Aosta, town probably. That's the capital of this region, which is autonomous region in the west of Italy that has not very many people. It's all in the mountains, and here people speak both Italian and French for pretty much historic reasons. And as in many other cases in Italy, in this part of the country, this was basically a gateway to reach Switzerland and France in ancient times. So this was actually a Roman town that was built when the Romans conquered this region as a province. And there were two very important passes to basically climb over the mountains and go towards, like I said, Switzerland and France. We will see where those are later on. So actually one is to, you can see that sort of valley on the left over there. That is where you would go to Switzerland. The easiest way to go to Switzerland. So we're currently at 4,400 feet. We're gonna have to go a bit higher than that. The climbing. To our right, below us, let's see if we can see it. There's a small village called Saint-Marcel. Left. We can't see it here. Yes, it's right below our wing. There's a small village called Odzay. It's quite nice climbing wall, like a natural one. We used to go climbing quite often. Very difficult. Which my limit in terms of climbing skills, quite frustrating at times. So we have good rate of climb. We're climbing at about 75, 80 knots. Let's see if we can swim a little more. Sounds about right. So now we can start seeing over there to our 2 o'clock Mont Blanc, which is the tallest mountain here and pretty much in Europe. 4,800 meters, which feet must be above 15,000. So we will pretty much fly direct to that mountain, and then we're gonna turn to the right. There's a valley to the right of it, which we will take to then climb and go to Switzerland. Let's go and have a look at the views from the outside. So you see down there Aosta, Mont Blanc right in front of us, and the main valley that we will follow. Let's try to stray the airplane. I can't go from inside. There is some wind, obviously, because if I release the joystick, the plane just doesn't keep straight. If we were to the left side of the valley, we might be able to see places below us. As you can probably imagine, these areas are very popular for winter sports. Courmayeur is the town that is at the bottom of Mont Blanc and is a really popular and quite fashionable place to go for skiing and snowboarding and all that stuff. You don't actually, there are no ski slopes on this side, the Italian side of the Mont Blanc, but people that enjoy doing like free riding and stuff like that can go skiing there quite a lot. So to our right, down below the wing kind of sea, is the village of La Salle. So we're now at 7,200 feet. I'm gonna have to climb a little more. Yeah, there's definitely some wind from the northwest. So this opening that you see to our left is now valley that goes up as a village called Atuil, and it has a pass called T Saint Bernard, which was the original way to go to France that was already working at times. So if you reach the pass, you can still see very old hospice and like a sort of place where travelers could stop and take a rest. But also there's a Roman temple, or at least the ruins of the Roman temple. And obviously during World War II, so you can see sort of that right over there is the pass. In World War II, being at the border with France, it was quite a strategic place, and so you will find plenty of fortifications and battles were fought between the fascists in Italy and the French. And so now, well, we will take the valley to our right, which is called Val Ferret, which will take us to Switzerland. To our left, there's another valley you can take, that's called Valville. that ends with another pass going to France. And this is basically these two valleys that are perpendicular currently to our direction of flight were in the summer. It's the Italian portion of what's called the Tour de Géant, which is a mountain hiking race that involves going around all this huge block of mountains that include Mont Blanc. It's basically Mont Blanc massive. Down below to our left is Checruy, which is basically the main ski resort of the city of the town of, well, let's call it village because it's really small, of Courmayeur, and you can kind of see it down below. So those are the patches of grass are pretty much all the ski slopes, and we can't see Courmayeur because it's straight below us. That tall peak in front of us is called the Gran Jorasses, and it's one of the most famous mountains for those who enjoy doing alpinism, mountaineering, because it has a very, very tall and long north face, extremely challenging. So there's a sort of the pinnacle of your career as an alpinist is to climb the three north faces in the Alps, one of which is the Gran Jorasses, and the other ones are the Matterhorn, which is further that way, and the Eiger, which is in Switzerland. It's not around these mountains here. So if you manage to do that in your lifetime, you are considered still today very successful climber. If I'm not mistaken, this wall, the north face of this mountain, because this is the south face, is something about 1800 meters in length, so it takes days to do it. You have to camp on the wall. The weather changes quite significantly. There's always rocks falling down. It's just straight difficult and technically. So we're now in Valferret. Above, straight ahead, if I put this down, if I want to see it, there's a Col Ferret, which is the sort of long pass there, which we will be crossing, and that is the location of the between Switzerland and Italy. So I think we can start leveling off here. Let's reach 9,500 feet, and then we're gonna level off. Okay. Nose down. Let's retrim those power slightly. Let's go to a bit more than that. Right. To our left, this glacier is called a Triolet. It has quite nice climbing walls just for rock climbing. There you can kind of see that direction. There are pictures of these glaciers taken at the start of 1900, and you see they come down all the way to the Central Valley, and now they're just all the way up there. It's really, really scary to see that. So Col Ferret is that little bit of land over there. And This glacier here is called Près des Barres. We used to hike with my family and friends many times in this area. It's just incredibly beautiful areas, you can tell already from this place. There's two mountains that you see that sort of are above all the other ones. The tallest one is called the Gran Combin. You can see it from Aosta. The second one is called Mont Blanc. The first one is 4,300 meters. The second one is 1,800 something. Between the two is the valley with the Grand Saint Bernard Pass, which is the main Roman route to go to Switzerland. And there are a number of very small passes around those mountains that were used during World War II to move the people that wanted to go to sort of running from the fascist regime to go to Switzerland, which at that time was a neutral place, and obviously the main pass was at a garrison of the army, so they had to sort of find alternative routes to be able to cross safely. And one of the people that crossed the pass, it's called Fenêtre du Rhin, from this area, was the person who then became the first Italian president of the Republic of Italy. That was created right after the war, so obviously before it was a monarchy. So we can start now our descent. We are officially in Switzerland. This area of Switzerland is called the Valais. It's the French-speaking part of Switzerland. If you go north and northeast, you will find the German-speaking area of Switzerland, and then to the east, it's the Italian-speaking. Down the end of the valley to the left, there's then the main valley where Sion is located, and the main town to the left, pretty much where it is, the frame of the airplanes, is called Martigny. It doesn't have an airport, but I don't think we said no. We'll probably see later on. See right there the pass called Ferret. It's really impressive to be able to see this sort of scenery in the flight simulator, to be able to fly visually using features that you can find in the environment just with visual references. I mean, you can kind of see that some parts are not rendered particularly well, especially probably because they use elevation models that don't have a very high resolution, so vertical cliffs are never really vertical. And you can see probably here that the bridge probably should follow this rock rather than the sort of grassy patch. But still, it's much better than anything else out there, so it's really nice. I thoroughly enjoy flying around this nice weather, this nice areas, and be able to do it just purely visually. Recognizing places where I've been, finding new places where I want to go. That's just incredible. There to your left, you probably kind of spot it. That one over there is the Lake Genève, which is one of the main lakes in Switzerland. Let me see if I can go to the right a bit more so we can see what's underneath us. Okay. Martigny is right behind that sort of mountain there. Stands low there. Whereas Sion is pretty much behind that ridge. Not the first one on the horizon, the one below, straight ahead. So I guess we're gonna turn to the left here, where I'm facing now, and then we're gonna turn right to the main public. Right, to stop descending a bit. Yeah, let's level off right here. Just to be able to make it through that pass. Retrim the airplane. Because I wish there was some force feedback control for flight simulations, as there are for racing and stuff like that, because it would make the experience of flying much easier and much more realistic as well. Because trimming the airplane is just a pain without having actual force that tells you when the airplane is trimmed. I'm not really leveling off all over the place here. I guess we're good. Should be high enough. So that would be the valley where you come down from the main way to cross to Switzerland from Italy. I might actually do a flight there because it's a very nice area as well. Let me know if you're interested. Quite windy over here, apparently. As soon as we pass this ridge, it should be all much more calm. So I think the airport's altitude is about 1600 feet, so we're gonna have to go down to 600 feet. So use power again. That is Martigny. And Lake Genève. Kind of see in the distance the lights of the runway of Sion. Going down 500 feet per minute, which is good. 90 knots, which is also good. So we're going to stay on to the right side of the valley. Yeah, you can see the runway in front of us. We are going to enter the left downwind. We're going to follow left traffic until land. The runway 26, probably. 2.5. 2.5 I think. Let's reduce power more. We have both descending to do. I hope at some point to get a IR sort of eye tracking device, because make it much nicer to fly around rather than moving hours all the time. Using a flight, the joystick as a flight control, which is also it's a right hand joystick. I fly with my left hand as you would do in a airplane as your first officer. So all the buttons are pretty much in the wrong place. Gonna have to upgrade at some point as well. Probably get an actual yoke. So we can probably increase the descent rate a little more, because we're not going down fast enough. Let's reduce power. Or I have to check the picture as well, so I have to start increasing. Going richer. I think I left the landing lights on. Yep, that is what you do when you don't use checklists. I might start doing a series where I actually fly as, well, I'm not a pilot, so, but where I sort of follow procedures a bit more carefully. Not just walk around the plane. Oh, down there there's some weird stuff that was generated by the engine. Sometimes when you have like radio towers and things like that, the cell phone towers, the autogen makes it into buildings or sort of weird structures like that. There was one I saw in another video to someone else that was on the just north of Edinburgh. I might actually do some circling to go down. There we go. I could also slip the airplane, but it's not very easy to do it with the... I don't have pedals, like a proper rudder pedals, so I'm using the joystick as well. Not the easiest thing to do to control. Doesn't have much movement to the left or right, so it's quite jerky when you start using it. So it doesn't make crosswind landings particularly easy. Alright, that should be enough. Still about 2,500 feet to go. To reach better altitude. People in these areas do a lot of soaring as well. I wish there was some soaring possible in Flight Simulator as it was in Flight Simulator X or 10, whatever you want. That was actually really fun. I really enjoyed doing that. Hopefully they will at some point. I heard that we're gonna do helicopters as well, so it's all in process. So if the runway is on a 2.5 course, you mean that our downwind would be 75? Sorry. That would be 70. Some downdraft coming from this side of the mountain. Or maybe updraft coming from that side. Turbulent. So here we are soon to reach Python altitude. Still about, well, 1,000 feet to go. Let's turn on. Didn't turn on actually. Well. Let's go for a ridge. Yep. So we are now in the downwind, but we are still high to go down. Might extend the downwind to the altitude. In theory, with the preset clear sky weather, it should be 270 at 2 knots or something. So should be good to land on runway 25 without pretty much any crosswind. We are reaching Python altitude now. Let's just make sure not to hit that. There, that's good speed. I can't see my. There we are. Let's keep the descent going. I need to reduce speed. So we are now in P. There's not of flux. AR and YR. So we can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna extend. Just slightly. 40. Let's keep. Start a turn. I'm quite close, so I'm just gonna go all the way to final. Speed is a bit high. There we go. Yeah, we're definitely high. It's insane. I try and do some slip to do some TTC, it's really difficult. Jerky. runway is really long, so it's not an issue. Either. And we're down. That was fun. Fun mountain approach. Brakes. Let's try and exit this taxi lane. It's up. The brakes are also a bit jerky. The joystick. Fine. It's where to park. So, axolite. Let's go. So I guess I'm gonna. This and here like are pretty much useless. Some can spot. Well, next one. Alright. Parking brake is set. Engine off. 10 battery lights. There we are. Sion. Thanks for coming along. See you very soon. Bye for now.